I
Woo!
mean, that is just like, it pumps me up immediately. Are we ready to get started with our gratitude
That
today?
is, yes, I am
Go
ready.
ahead. Oh,
I
we
am
are recording
rocking and rolling.
already.
Yes, I'm
I'm
grateful.
grateful that we're on top of it.
Yeah, we
Okay,
are.
you go next really quick.
I'm grateful that we're on top of it and I got everything plugged in and things are working good. And
I'm grateful we're on episode 10. I'm grateful for the new stickers on our microphone. I'm grateful that you're totally getting into it. I'm grateful that we made it in here earlier and earlier each day. And I'm grateful that everybody's here listening in.
yeah,
So,
I'm grateful that just for our life, I'm grateful for all the comments and likes and
oh wow, you're really
people
getting
loving
into
the
it.
stuff. Yeah,
It's what
I'm
it
telling you.
it matters.
It does matter.
This is
I'm
episode
grateful.
10. Yeah.
Yes, yeah, I'm grateful for episode 10 for having the intrinsic motivation just to get going. Hello and welcome to another episode of Plantspiration Unplugged. We're John and Stephanie Ignafo, founders of the nonprofit Plantspiration that we started to help people prevent and reverse disease and save some animals and the planet at the same time. Welcome.
Welcome. People know us for losing 250 pounds
Hmm.
and reversing a slew of our own diseases, but now people know us for reaching and teaching people all over the world how to lose weight, prevent and reverse disease, and feel great too. I'm so grateful for everybody being here, listening in.
Yeah.
Thank you, thank you, thank you so much. Don't forget to subscribe, share, like. We don't want you to miss a thing. And I can't believe you. I just want to say this is Plantspiration Unplugged.
Yeah, I just love
I
the
don't want to talk
feedback.
about work almost in here. Like
You
that's
know?
how I feel.
Just, well, it doesn't seem like work.
Well, it's been a busy day. It's been a bit. Oh, let me get this moved in here. Look at, I
Yeah.
didn't even get situated. I
Why
was like,
doesn't, how come it doesn't really feel like work, you know?
sometimes, but sometimes it does.
Oh, yeah.
It
But,
takes work to get in here for goodness sakes. It takes work to get in here, I realized. You know what I mean? We've had our moments. You know what it is? A lot of people say, "Oh, you make it look so easy. You make it look so
yeah.
easy." What do I make look so easy? The cooking classes, the coaching, the lives every day, the posting on Facebook, the social media, the marketing.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah, there's like not,
do I make it look
there's
easy?
not, you do, and because you're great at what you do, because you don't have a team to take care of all your
I got a
socials. And,
team.
well, not like taking care of your socials, what I'm saying.
Yeah, I
Like,
mean,
that's fun, but it's work. It is work.
well, every time we would have a meeting about it, it would go back to who else could do what she's doing. I mean,
Yeah.
I actually am having so much fun doing it that it doesn't seem like a job to me to post
Hmm.
on social media. The job is
Hmm.
making room so I could post more because I do want to post
I
more.
know. Well, I know. Well, that's what it is. We're like, well, let's figure out what jobs we can take away from her so she has more time to do that social stuff because you're
That
great
did
at
happen.
it.
That did
It
happen.
did.
And what was the conclusion to that?
I don't know. You're doing great. So we took away some, definitely, there was a lot of website things and a lot of member
True.
stuff, you know.
Remember that time I didn't get payments for a year?
Yeah. Hey, no problem.
See, just and it didn't bother me. Like I never even mentioned anything. I
I
was
don't
like
even
so busy
remember.
doing I was so busy doing what I was doing. I was like, well, that just happened. That wasn't
Hmm.
working.
Hmm.
Um, I do love that part of it. Well, I love all the parts of it. I do not love the website part of it at
Yeah,
all. Zero.
I don't like it either.
I'm not motivated to do anything for the website because I feel like everything I'm doing is I'm doing. Does that make sense?
Well, yeah, well, if we take away from what because you're doing more now, like I was saying, because you were trying to do everything and
True.
even like throwing it over, oh, I'll take a look at it. I'm like, I don't know anything about this website stuff.
The
We need to
website
find a
stuff was
guy.
hard. The taxes stuff was hard. I always talk about that.
Yeah, those two things. We need a guy
Um,
and
I,
another guy
I love the meetings we have.
or girl.
I love, true. I love the meetings. I love the board meetings. I guess that's part of,
Yeah,
what goes on in the back of my life. People, everybody likes to have a meeting with me because it's quick.
yeah,
I don't like messing around. I get right to it.
yeah.
Like our board meetings. We got 30 minutes. Let's talk about all the good stuff going on. Let's talk about how we can improve it and let's get everybody back to kicking ass.
Uh-huh, exactly.
Then I say, if you don't like coming to my meetings, then I'm doing something wrong and let me know.
Hmm.
That is my method. It's
Good.
working.
I love
It's working because we wouldn't be, goodness sakes.
it.
I mean, I'm taking, hold on. Let's take a breath for a minute, everybody.
Nice.
We're always running. We're always going. I'm always thinking about work, 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 work. Um, but I love it. It's hard to kind
Hmm.
of unplug, but this is supposed to be like where we're unplugging. So I'm going to ask you this right off the cuff. How was your week, by the way? We have not had a chance to talk. We do
Um,
this thing. Hold on, before I'll give you a minute to think about it because I know you don't love being on the spot. Um, we had a really busy week. We really didn't get a chance to talk about what we were going to do in here. I mean, we did. We said, I think we should talk about intrinsic motivation. It's like
hmm
week 3. You kind of see what I'm doing over here. And in itself, don't forget, this podcast was us saying, you know what? We're going to practice what we teach. We're going to
hmm
start something that we've been wanting to do.
hmm
And we're going to go to the top and we're going to show you how we do it right here by just practicing everything that we keep talking about every week in every episode. This is
Yeah,
exactly what we've been doing to get to where we're at, which is episode 10.
that's right.
So before we get into more of that, and obviously we're going to be breaking out the Plantspiration Health Report.
Yeah, yeah.
How was your week?
I'm busy because I can't even focus on one thing that happened because it's over.
It's over. You're already on to the next.
I am. I mean, really, I don't, it was just, I don't know, work stuff I love doing, going
It,
to work and working here and, um,
did you have a win? Like, do you have a highlight of your week you could point out?
probably, um,
And I'm just winging this right now, by the
yeah,
way.
me,
I'm just,
me too, because seriously, I just don't, I just,
you
I,
can't think about your week?
yeah, I could, but I
Well,
need a little
we,
more prep time.
oh,
Seriously, I've been thinking about
like 10 minutes?
our show and doing this
There
and
it
having
is.
fun and
It does
I,
take work.
yeah, I was just my working during, in the shops and doing stuff has just been work. I love doing it, but nothing.
I want
I'm
to,
just thinking about our getting in here
so I want to
all
make it
week.
to where exactly that you think about the fun part of it,
Hmm.
because if it starts becoming pressure, we know
Hmm.
it's over.
Yeah.
If it starts becoming pressure, we're going to start breaking down because it's happened, by the way.
Hmm.
It's happened. If the pressure's on, like I am very used to this,
Okay.
I guess. Is that a way to look at it?
I
I'm
suppose,
in
yeah.
it. Like I'm just doing it. I can get out here and talk about this
Oh yeah.
24 7,
Yeah.
7, just nonstop.
uh
But you're not as used to it when
I'm an
I,
engineer,
exactly.
mechanical, like I'm more of a thinker dude. I don't do talking unless it's like I got something to say.
I think this is good that people know because it is why it works for us. Like I'm over here like that,
Hmm.
and you're always listening to the engine.
Yeah, I'm just like, all right, okay.
Yeah,
Assessing.
assessing exactly. And when we got to this whole point about doing the podcast, there's been a lot that goes into it. And of course, everybody starts something, and just from being a mechanical engineer, machinist, starting your own shop,
Hmm.
that takes work. What do you think the number one thing is that the machine shops fail when people say they're going to go out on their own? Like, you say all the time, like everybody wants to have machines in their garage.
Yeah. Well, they just don't even get that far.
How come?
I don't know. I mean, I've only really known of three other people
What do you
in my
think?
whole,
Really?
over 35 years or whatever in the trade.
How long have you been in this trade, by the way?
I think it's around that, 35-ish, somewhere around there. Since 88.
Really?
Yeah. 98, 99, a bunch, a long time.
That's a long time. And like you always say, everybody wants to get machines. Everybody
Hmm.
wants to be their own boss. Everybody wants to work for themselves.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to wake up when they want to wake up.
Hmm.
But man, that takes a little bit of work. It takes a little bit of intrinsic motivation, and it takes understanding what that is that kind of keeps you going.
Yeah.
Because this is not the path you started on. Like
No.
when I met you, what were you doing?
What do you mean?
When,
Working on my car, working
well,
on my hot rod.
yeah,
What?
I'll never forget that.
Working at a car dealership.
Yeah, that
Uh-huh.
part, it was not what you wanted to do.
No, I thought it was because I like working on mechanical stuff,
So you started kind of getting motivated by that.
Yeah, definitely. And
And
when I got an opportunity to start at a car dealer, and yeah,
that
just
didn't last. Something else happened though.
well, yeah. I mean, you start out as a porter, cleaning cars and doing stuff like that, and then I was like the detail master, buffing all the stuff, making it nice for the showrooms and that, and then,
We were dating right about that minute, by the way.
mm-hmm,
We were dating right about then. You had the Nova.
right, right,
You were chilling.
yeah.
Hey, you gotta meet
Yeah, I built
Johnny.
my car, it's fun thing. And then just watching the mechanics and seeing, and then they're like arguing over jobs and finding out what seniority means, and
And you're watching.
yeah, and I'm watching and I'm like second guessing everything all of a sudden. Like,
Mm,
I don't know, man. It looks like, it's hard work. Like these guys are really getting into it every day and
interesting.
arguing over jobs. I've been here longer,
Wow.
that brake job is mine. So I saw two guys really going at it one day.
Really?
Yeah, I was like, wow, these guys are gonna duke it out.
What were you thinking? Like, I got to get into
I was
that?
like, I gotta get closer and
That's
see what's
what
going
you,
on.
that's what made you want to get into that.
No,
Oh,
no,
okay.
no. I had to see what was the argument, and that was the first time I heard the word
Mm,
seniority, like 19 or whatever. I'm like, what is this? Seniority.
love it.
Oh, this dude's been here longer. Okay, he's got a pick of the jobs.
Okay.
It's like a union shop and everything.
All
And
right.
oh, there's no screwing around there. So the guy that had more seniority, he's over there doing the brake job, and I see him. I go by him. He's cutting the rotors on a little lathe thing there. The brake rotor cutter, make your brakes all fresh. And I'm like, yeah, he gives me some safety glasses and just talking to him for a minute. And I'm watching him cut it. I'm like, man, I remember metal shop in high school. That
I
was
actually took
cool.
metals.
I'm like,
I
that
did.
was cool. Did you
I did.
really?
I made a
Oh,
dustpan.
nice.
I,
Oh, that was eighth grade. That was eighth
hey,
grade.
still, I took it.
Hey, yeah, you learn sheet metal and
So you're over
on the
there.
bender and all that stuff
Yeah,
and
I got an understanding
and
of it.
riveting it together,
Yeah,
right? Drilling holes and
I
rivets.
liked it.
Yeah, right?
It's crafty.
Yeah, it's crafty. So I'm watching this guy and just the argument that they had, and I was thinking back how cool Metal Shop was. And I'm like, you know what? Thought to myself, I was close, but this isn't it. Machinist, mechanic. I'm like, I left within probably a month. I
Really?
left. Yeah, yeah, I left. I left. I remember I was in the uni making $8.11 an hour.
Wow.
Woo! And I was there like 3 years.
Wow.
By the time I left, so yeah, I was older. I was 18, 20-ish, something like that, 21 almost. And by the time I saw this happen, and then I was like, no, I gotta go. So I just left $8.11 an hour to start at a machine shop, $5 an hour at the
Just like that.
bottom.
What motivated you to do that?
It was totally intrinsic. It was deep inside. I don't know. It was just a feeling I had like this is what
Love
I'm
it.
supposed to do. I really can't even pinpoint to what. I've always worked on stuff. So in my past life, I was a blacksmith or something. I could just picture it now making
That came
everybody's
out of
swords and
left
horseshoes.
field. I'm like, what? So, what a great way to, what a great way to talk about that or to realize like how to be
Yeah.
intrinsically motivated. It was something you just wanted to do. You didn't care if anybody was like,
Well,
are you
I didn't
nuts?
care of
You just,
the money didn't matter.
the
I mean, I had a
money
car
didn't matter.
payment, I had insurance to pay.
Yeah.
And I didn't, I remember, I recall never really calculating, sitting down like, well, if I make this much an hour, am I gonna be able to pay my shit? It didn't matter. I
Didn't
was just
matter.
gonna do it.
You found your intrinsic motivation in that moment and look
Yeah,
at where it's led you today.
I know.
There's many steps when we look back and we think about not only did you now have your job and then you continued to climb, then we were
Hmm.
apart for like 6, 7 years.
Hmm.
So we broke up right around here
Hmm.
and we got back together and you were doing the machine thing.
Yeah. Well, my first 3.5 years of that company, I just, it was what I was supposed to do because I learned everything there was about the whole
You loved it.
freaking shop and loved it and became the
What did
manager
you
of the
love about
machine
it?
shop and just
Wow. Yeah. I know when you told me that, I was like, damn, we
I
could
know.
get married. This guy's got it together. I did. I saw you like that. You were like hardworking. You never missed a day. I
Hmm.
mean, you were just going at it.
Yeah,
And I
yeah.
was like, all right, you absolutely loved what you did. I guess
Hmm.
that's what it was. But you didn't like always who you were working for or working under.
Right.
That was, the only
Yeah,
issue.
that's a lot of issue with people.
So what
Man, I
kept you
love the
motivated?
work, but the people at
Yeah.
work would suck or this or that. And I don't know, everybody's usually cool in machine shops and stuff, but the owner, the boss, whatever, just
How did you get?
you get how what is that saying? You get more bees with honey or whatever
Yeah,
it is.
yeah.
It's just hard working at some places.
So you're going along, and I don't know these questions. That's why I'm asking you actually,
That's
like, we're
great.
unplugging in here.
Good.
We're gonna stick to what
I
we
can't
came in
write,
here to
I
do.
can't follow a script anyway, so
That's what we're realizing. We would go over this and it was kind of stressing us out.
yeah,
People think it looks so easy, but there's a lot going on in the background over here, and that's really what this is about.
yeah,
How are we doing everything we're doing and kind of rolling it into
totally.
why we keep crushing stuff and overcoming obstacles from weight to businesses to relationship to,
I'm just
is
laughing
this a good way
because
to put
there's
it?
like, yeah, totally. There's like four different,
Don't
uh,
tell them that. I'm a
four,
little
four
controlly.
different boards, whiteboards in here,
Stop
and
it.
I don't look at any of them because
And I know that, but I was like, maybe if I have, I don't know what's wrong.
you
That's
gotta have notes, gotta have some
I
topics.
got
But
to
the
be
main thing
organized.
here is that right there. There's nothing to do but to do it.
I love that phrase. So I wrote that down. Like,
Mm.
we're just gonna. So usually the boards are blowing up, and I'm like, I look like that guy on that dry erase board, literally before the podcast
Oh yeah,
from the boss or whatever that show
yeah,
is,
yeah.
and he's pointing to all the arrows. If anybody's knows what I'm talking about, that's what it looks like before I start the podcast. And John is going, "What the hell are
I
you
know.
talking about? You said we were going to talk about intrinsic motivation. Now you got 13 whiteboards. I mean, for Christmas, everybody's getting me
I'm just like
dry erase
over
boards
here,
and
over here.
more dry erase markers and more dry erase
I
boards. So then I
know.
started building more of them up, and I noticed it was making you more nervous. It was creating more stress. It was you were losing intrinsic motivation when I was putting all this shit up saying,
Well, at
this
least,
is what we're going to do.
yeah.
But
Well, at least we honed in on what you like doing and bought you more sharp, dry erase markers and actually an eraser for the board instead of all these wadded up paper towels all
in case people didn't recognize, and
over.
I found this out early on in therapy, and I didn't want to hear it. And I said, don't talk about it. Don't write it down. Don't even get your paper out. I would tell her, are you writing something down? Take it away right now. Don't
Yeah.
write it down. But there is something that always sticks in the back of my mind that I guess I cannot deny I have a little ADHD.
Huh.
But I don't talk about it because I don't identify with it. I know that it's something I have to deal with, and I've learned ways to lasso it in. And as soon as I talk about it, everybody starts, mentioning it to me. I'm like, hey, don't remind me. So I have to have notes to be organized,
Oh,
and
a
I
lot of
guess
people do. That's not like,
I really
that's a
didn't.
good thing.
It is. I didn't realize I needed notes until I had a business and was running a nonprofit and having meetings and coaching people and doing lives. So there's where I found this to be a superpower for me. I just had to
Yeah,
get it organized.
totally. Because you can tear it up, you can wing it, you can do all that, but
I
it's
don't need
nice
notes.
yeah, but it's nice having an outline of, where like just
Yeah.
kind of some kind of frame to stay in, okay, so the picture doesn't get too messy.
Well, I have a habit of I just go for it, and that's one of my
You,
strengths.
you do
I
great.
just
Yeah.
go for it and I just wing it. And as I wing it, I'm like,
Yeah.
well, I know what not to do,
I could just see them in the back, up on the TV. Well, she's not even looking at the prompter. Here
This
she goes.
this is true. So we're we're really learning how to get things
Yeah.
done, and we're sharing it with everybody in a very vulnerable way. And then the reason why this whole conversation came up is because I am this is the busiest time of year right now. Everybody's ready to get
Hmm.
healthy. Everybody's really into it. And I'm honing in on like, how do I get everybody to stay intrinsically motivated?
Definitely, we're getting closer to that 3 week mark where people are dropping off
People
from
are
their New
dropping
Year's
off.
resolutions or any goals during the year. I mean, 3 weeks is it's critical.
A lot of times while I'm doing thoughts for the podcast, it's coming through with the things that I'm working on with people,
Hmm.
and it's very relatable to ourselves. So I'm always, assessing. I'm always using critical thinking, reassessing. So if this is getting stressful at some point, it was something you wanted to do. You were like, let's get in here, let's
Yeah,
do this, let's
totally.
do.
I
And
just didn't know I'd be like a deer in the headlights. Like, what the hell's wrong with me? How come I'm not comfortable?
well, that's because
It's because
I
I'm
needed to
growing.
reassess and see what I could do to help make this more motivating and more what we wanted to do it for.
Mhm.
And I had to say to you, like, I had to really rethink it and think, what makes you want to do this? And sometimes we get distracted by all the other stuff going on, and you can't even focus on why do I want to do this?
That's like with anything in life. You got to get back to your why.
We got to get
What
back to the
is it?
why.
Yeah.
Why do you want to
Oh, are
do
you
this?
really asking me
Yeah,
right
I'm
now?
going to really ask you, I guess. See, so here's no notes anymore. There's no
Because,
notes. It's like we're just winging it. This is the
well, it's
unplugged
easier
part.
to answer
It
without
is.
notes because I just,
That's
again,
intrinsic.
like machining or how I felt about it is just how I feel about this. I think people really need to just hear regular people talking about regular shit that we're all going through that
Life,
nobody wants to talk about.
life, and how to,
Life.
yeah,
Yeah,
just
really,
life
that's it.
stuff. How are we getting through all this stuff? How did we
Mhm.
make all these changes that were so significant? How did I lose the 100 pounds, keep it off? How did I tell my whole family, hey,
Mhm.
this is what we're doing, take it or leave it? You
Yeah.
know, and I realized it all comes down to intrinsic motivation. And
Heck
I've
yeah.
really worked hard on bringing that awareness and that self-awareness to people on how to get that intrinsic motivation by looking at how did I do this?
How did I do it right?
How did I
Right.
do this
But I mean, you kept that going
for
way
everything?
back when we were first starting this and everything and keeping us all motivated and letting them know, hey, I
It's my
can't control what you're
superpower.
doing outside of the house, but
It's my
do
superpower.
what you want to do. And they, right in the beginning, they might have ate something outside the house. I'm like, man, I feel like crap. I did it. I remember. I was just remembering back the other day. You helped me remember back right in the beginning where I was like, but I still need my tuna. I need tuna still.
Oh, in the beginning of us going plant-based, you
Beginning.
were wanting to
Yeah.
bring in tuna. Did you bring the tuna in? I think you kind
There
of
was,
did.
well,
Sneak
yeah.
it in.
No, yeah, it was one. You knew about it. I'm like, I gotta just see, because I was getting this rash on my thighs, and then it was gone all of a sudden. I'm
I
like,
I pointed out to you. I was like,
uh-huh. Like, oh
well,
wow, yeah. Like, man, but I really want my tuna, and I had one more meal of it, a can, made a couple sandwiches, whatever, and immediately I had the same rash on my thighs. I'm like, all right,
that was
this is poison.
it's a motivator. And that can be a motivator for people too. And that's what it took for you to kind of see that.
Yeah, yeah, but that was definitely an outside motivator. It was kind of a mixture of both extrinsic and intrinsic because I saw it. I wanted, oh yeah, but like I saw the rash and everything and really took it in. My health is way more important than what my taste buds are saying. And since then, now I just make it out of chickpeas and it's freaking amazing and I get the same taste and mouth feels and
We
we're
do
all
eat
happy and
we
good.
do eat everything that we want to eat. But I
Seriously.
didn't know that in the beginning. If I would have
No.
started in the beginning was like, I can't have everything I wanted, and I focused on that because I did, well, reality was the very first time I heard about
Yeah.
going plant-based, I thought I have to give up cheese, I have to give up this. I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
So
No
I wasn't
vodka.
motive no vodka.
Forget it.
We got a lot of feedback on
Like, wait a
that.
minute, it's made out of potatoes. I think we're gonna be good. But
We
it's
let me go
poison
back to
too.
asking you this, I guess. And then you're going along your life. You're doing all awesome actually. You always have been a great provider, working so hard.
Mm-hmm.
Then you decide you want your own machine shop. Uh,
Uh-huh.
what motivated you to do that? And then you kept it up for how
Well,
many years now?
it's 21, I think.
Wow.
21. Yeah. Yeah. 20. Yeah. Oh,
Congratulations.
03 November. Oh,
We
three.
don't
So,
talk about your wins enough. I mean, we
yeah.
do talk about them, but we could talk more about like, wow, that's
Yeah.
impressive,
Yeah.
actually.
I think it was great.
What motivated you to start your own?
Um, I just
While I
knew
take a
I
drink
could.
of
I
one of
just knew
my,
I could. Like, I want to do this. I totally can. I can already see I have customers that I know I could have. I know I can sell basically. Oh, and I mean, I started the shop.
you guys,
I knew I
we've
had
pulled the ripcord on
customers.
John right now.
Well, I've never had, I'm like, okay, I know who I can have as customers. So I'm like, all right, I'll deal with this. I sold my hot rod, is what I did. The hot rod. I sold it. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to sell my
That I
car.
met him in
Yeah. I'm like, I can sell my car.
396 big block tubbed out with 18-inch wheels. I remember I got you the race
Yeah.
car seats
It
for
was like,
Christmas
yeah,
one year.
pro streeter,
You would start it up in
narrowed
the
and tubbed.
garage. The whole house would shake.
Oh, yeah.
You're gonna get that back one day.
Yeah, that's fun. It's fun. But I'm like, I'm older. But anyway,
You made a sacrifice, is what you
yeah,
did.
yeah, yeah.
You made a sacrifice.
I guess so, yeah. But it was like,
You needed the money to get the machine, so you
Yeah,
sold the
I
car.
sold the car so I could buy the machines,
Yeah.
and then plus I needed the car out of the garage to put the machine, so it was like a win-win.
I was so busy
And
with
then
the
I could
kids.
make
Yeah.
money right here at the house. I don't have to go outside and get a second job. I could do it here in the evening. It was like an easy sell.
While you were making all these decisions, I was just saying, like, I was so busy dealing with the
Oh
kids. I
yeah,
couldn't even think about anything you were doing. I was so consumed by that. I
yeah.
mean, I supported everything. I was like,
Oh,
yeah, yeah, yeah. I was
definitely.
always like,
I That's where you were taking care of the kids, and I'm like making sure everybody is good and you can do your job of taking care of the kids in the house.
you
And
made it easy.
you know,
I
that
didn't have
was
to worry about nothing. So
that's
thank you.
awesome. That's awesome. Well, you made it easy. I mean, helping just everything you did with the kids in the house and just taking care of me and family in the house and all
I
that.
took all those skills and I turned it into a CEO entrepreneur
I'm telling you.
because that was some hustling and bustling,
Hmm.
what we kind of did. And that's what I mean about that self-awareness and kind of, all the things that I was learning in life that I wasn't applying. It was like, if you would just focus on all the good stuff going on,
Hmm.
Stephanie, and I'd be like, what does that have? Don't write that down.
Yeah.
You know what I'm getting at?
Yeah.
So, talking about intrinsic motivation when you started your business, just to keep it going,
Hmm.
this is where I knew I wanted to go with you to say, we have to find our motivation into doing things. Because if I force it and I say, do this, do this, do this,
Yeah.
write this down, write that, like, look at this. I realized I was losing you. I was like, oh my God, he's getting up, he's getting nervous, he's getting anxiety. And this is the John I want everybody to
Well,
see.
yeah, I don't want,
I'm learning.
I don't want to, what do you call it? I don't even know what it's called, a script or, I
No,
mean,
yeah.
just, I like show notes. That's great. You want to write some show notes down? Cool.
Now I'm
I really
learning.
barely ever look at them because a lot of them, I mean, I
It
can
was
actually, they've gotten better in these 10 weeks because, yeah, at the
I,
beginning, I was like, I don't know what that even means. Did you go to doctor writing skills, school when they do the,
now the truth comes out. But this is the unplug. This is what people don't get to see. Like there is a lot of work into doing what we're doing. But I'm motivated by the fact that I love what I do. I'm getting these messages from people. We're getting these messages from people. We're seeing numbers come in, which I asked him this week when I was rethinking intrinsic motivation and kind of, bringing it in. I can't coach you. It feels
hmm
it's not going to work if I do this to you. So I'm always trying to think of in a learning process for myself. I'm like, how can I respark that intrinsic motivation?
hmm
So this is just why we're here doing what
This
we're
is
doing.
one
I
of
wanted to
those.
hear about what, because we all have it within us, but we
Hmm.
forget how to look for it. We forget how to find it. We forget what brings us joy. But once we tap into it, it's almost like that part in your brain opens it back up to say, oh, I remember this when things made me feel good. And I want people to tap more into that.
Hmm.
I guess I was getting into it with a little bit of that.
But I'll tell you what, now thinking back, in the beginning, when I left I was going to be a mechanic, and I
Hmm.
was like, nah, and I became a machinist. I just did that for total intrinsic. The money didn't matter. I mean, that was like, boom, I just got to switch. Then now later, I've harnessed it to like, this is really what I love doing. I can also make money at it.
Yeah.
That's great.
So I love that you're saying this right now because I'm going to get to the next thing I started thinking.
Hmm.
I started realizing you needed to see some numbers
Yeah.
for the podcast.
Yep. Yep.
I was looking at the numbers and everybody heard me every week go, I don't even know how to find the numbers, but I can see them on YouTube and they're
Hmm.
fabulous. Like I'm grateful for the views we have on YouTube. And the more people are watching us, the more money it's bringing in and the more
Right.
money I'm over here watching this end of life
Right.
of our life, I mean, and you're just out there working, doing what you're motivated to do. And I realize how can you want, anyway, I said, you got to look at the numbers. And
Mm.
as soon as you started seeing the numbers,
Oh yeah, that
you
helped
guys,
again.
what did you
What?
say?
That helped, re-spark it.
That's what it was. That's what it was that I was like, this show's going to be the best. And I'm going to take it easy on the notes. I'm going to learn from this isn't working when I put too much pressure on it. We do
Yeah.
much better. Like I'm giving them a fist bump when we're
Yeah.
just winging it.
Yeah.
And I'm learning. Like I'm watching this happen right now as we're doing it. I'm like, holy shnikes, I have been putting way too much. Like I'm so busy being
Yeah.
organized that I
I'm
got
not the
over
best
organized.
communicator either.
Well, you're definitely getting better. I mean,
But I was just like, I just want to talk about stuff.
so I said, okay, actually, every time I went to say to you, we're going to talk, we stopped each other. We were like, don't talk to me right now. Stop.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about this later. We're going to talk about this later. And this kind of has to do a little bit with, it's going to, what we tell ourselves. It's going to be all right. It's going to go great. It's going to go
Uh-huh.
great. It's all going to work out, which
Definitely.
is all part of that intrinsic motivation and what we use to stay on track with our goals.
Yeah. I mean, really, I woke up this morning. I was just like, this is going to be a great day. I love you. I love me. I love everything. And whatever I talk about, I talk about.
It's,
I just
it's,
don't, I don't want no pressure,
and
man.
then I
I just
turn,
want to do it and
and
have a
what did
great
I do
time.
to distract? What did I do to really make that kind of, I didn't let my type A kind of,
Yeah. You had a lot of restraint in everything you wanted to
did I?
talk about, I think. Yeah.
I had a lot of restraint, so I
I
couldn't
mean, I
come.
love the notes. We have notes all over the place, which is great. I
I
lost
haven't
mine
even
again.
looked.
I lose mine every time.
This is exactly what's
I don't
going
need
on.
them. That's
How are we doing it? You're listening exactly how we're learning from this stuff. So I realized, well, I got on my bike and my bike's in the bedroom,
hmm.
and you were still sitting there like, I was like, whatever oh, you were working on the numbers.
Yeah, I was looking at the numbers and I was just like, wow, wow.
Yeah,
I wrote a bunch of nice stuff and I don't
I
know
couldn't hear it.
where it went,
Well, I
but
could pull it up, but
it
I
was
couldn't.
it was I mean, it's just really great. And it was about um uh just doing great, having a good time and everything. And then look at it's we have um
Basically, I was distracting myself on the bike with all the music and music
mhm.
is my motivation. A lot of times I think that the music is talking to me. And you
Yeah.
know this because
Well, it's awesome when you just tell your phone, "Hey, turn on my
I'm like,
playlist, my what do you tell it?
I
You just say,
say,
well, don't tell it,
yeah, I
it'll really
can't right
go
now,
on.
but I'll be like, hey, shuffle my music. And I
Oh
say, and
yeah.
universe, start talking.
Yeah, it's
Now I
great.
know it's getting a little woo woo in here, but
Woo!
he is here as my
It
witness
was
to the
just
stuff
it's
that
just
comes
great.
on. The
I like
stuff
it when Queen comes on. Don't stop
that's
me now.
And then I look at him, I'm like, what did I say? I go, it knows what I'm doing. And that's the song I listen to all the time when I would have a big event or
Yeah.
I would have to go talk on stage somewhere. And that's the song that I kind of
Oh yeah.
started telling him, to give him myself. But all the songs that started coming up,
Every one after another was just
it
great.
was, and my music is all over the place.
Oh
It's
yeah.
like Loretta Lynn to Metallica
Uh-huh.
to
That's
now I'm getting into something new, actually, by the way. And I'd like to thank
okay.
like Harlow's mom for this. She showed me Aurora and I cannot get it out of my head. I'll
Right.
have to
Is
talk
that
about
a genre or a
No,
person or a
no,
band
and
or
it's amazing. Like I've never heard anything like
cool?
it.
Well, that's
Anyway,
awesome.
next, yeah.
We're gonna have to check that out.
So I found the notes, by the way, that you wrote, and I didn't look at them. I
Well,
didn't
yeah.
ask them.
Well, once I started getting on there, because I noticed I grabbed the laptop and he had all the tabs open, so I would see all the numbers and
This is
all the awesome comments and things, and people are just loving it. And I just wanted to thank everybody for that. That's just awesome to see. I mean, when
it's
I noticed,
motivating.
if I could say what I noticed, listener growth is above average, downloads are above average, listener
What?
engagement is great.
I didn't know this.
Yeah.
How did you find that? I just said look at the numbers. I didn't say come back with all these
Well, their
statistics.
engagement is great with reviews and the feedback. It's just
Wow.
so we know it's
Thank
awesome.
you.
It really like throws another log on my fire. I feel frick yeah. Um,
You guys, I got Johnny back.
yeah. Well, also the numbers show we have good audience retention and
Thank you.
completion rates
Love you.
and subscriber growth.
Shut the
So
front door.
I'm like my heart is so big right now. I'm so happy.
I love this.
Well, yeah, because I summed it up with
Intrinsic motivation
yeah, I mean,
coming in
it's
hot.
turned more. I guess, is this an extrinsic seeing that? But it just fires my intrinsic
Extrinsic,
more.
extrinsic is more like you have to do this or we're not going to make it to the top.
Yeah.
You have to do this. Everybody's watching.
Like I just wanted to do it because it feels good.
Boom.
And then seeing is, wow, it makes me feel good again. Like gooder or
Yeah.
better, better.
Yes, it's all of
Sorry.
the above. I'll take it.
Yeah.
That's exactly what this is. So, if I may say, this
Mm.
is awesome. That for the feedback.
Mhm.
Everybody, thank you so much. This is exactly what we wanted to do in this podcast, is kind of use this as a example of
It is.
how I'm coaching. Basically, we're watching it, and you're watching it with everybody,
Oh
and it
yeah.
and you're really seeing
I
it.
just see a lot of progress with people
Yeah.
just from week to week, like on our Saturday meeting where we're all there and I get to
Mm-hmm.
see the people you've been meeting with all week.
Mm-hmm.
And I see them and seen them last week and the week before and the week before. And I got to give it to you, girl. You're really crushing it
Thank
because
you.
they're kicking butt. They're feeling
It's
great.
amazing.
They're losing their disease. They're dropping some pounds on the way through.
It's
I mean,
amazing.
they're feeling great.
Well, I'm loving what I do. I'm absolutely motivated, and I have the biggest intrinsic motivation every day, and that is what I wake up to. And it didn't start with that. People
No.
would be like, how did, everybody's in this I want to lose weight phase and I want to get
Hmm.
healthy, and I had to remind people I started off where I couldn't walk around. And
Yeah.
what I was doing when I was reminding people was I was tapping into what was intrinsically motivating me. I was really being self-aware of like, how can I tap into this so I can explain it to them and break it down. And it really had to do with breaking it down and starting to focus on the wins, which I already had. I already have this really great coping mechanism within me
Heck yeah.
from life and things that have gone on in my life. So those are, I know to always look forward to what's next and what could be better. And I know to always say, things could be worse. I don't run on that, but I run on, thank goodness it's not like this, and
Hmm.
I can focus on this or I can
Right.
do something like this. So even though I was looking at like, wow, I have to lose a lot of weight, I never said I'm going to lose 100 pounds. I never,
No,
ever said
you
that.
never put a number on it.
I
You
never,
never put the pressure on yourself.
no. So I didn't realize I already built that intrinsic motivation by not having extrinsic goals.
Yeah.
Like if you don't lose 100 pounds, you're
Hmm.
a failure. I just went with today felt good and I focused on that I made it through the
Yeah.
day.
And I want to feel like this tomorrow.
Another
That
day,
was,
one day at a time.
hmm
Every day it was like this was my why. I wanted to feel better. I just wanted to feel better. And I wrote that out
It's awesome.
to where I thought I was done after 20 pounds. Then at 30
Hmm.
pounds, I was like, this is still happening because I found the intrinsic motivation. There
Hmm.
was no cap. I got to lose this weight by
40,
this.
50, 60, 70.
I
You're
didn't,
like running to
whoa.
the doctor now. Dude, am I all right?
I was literally like, I think I'm sick. I've ate too many vitamins. People don't know. Did I tell that story?
Yeah, I don't know,
Like
but
how I kicked my doctor. I didn't even have an appointment.
I
I
know.
was like, I'm coming in, be ready. They were like, what?
I'm on my way.
I'm on my way. Well, what was going on was I lost a tremendous amount of hair. That was the
Mhm.
truth. So I was
Mhm.
looking great. Everything was going great.
I mean, you notice it on, you're like, damn, my hair is getting thin, on my head. But I remember the day you're like, holy shit, I don't have any hair in my arms. I'm going to the doctor right now.
Yeah, there was a lot
Like,
going
oh
on.
my God.
And he went in there. We didn't even know we were going to get into this story, by the way. And this is maybe good to
No,
talk about
really,
because
yeah.
I'm very empathetic to people who talk about their hair.
Uh-huh.
So I go in there and I'm freaking out, like, I don't know what's going on. I'm ready to shave. So I've also called my hairdressers who've
Yeah.
been with me for a very long time. Thank you
Hmm.
very much, Michael. It was Michael and Rachel at the time.
Hmm.
And they're like, girl, don't shave your head right now. I was going to
I'm
shave
like,
my
you were
head.
ready
I
to
was
go
meltdown.
Britney, man. Yeah. I'm like,
I
whoa, hold on.
went, it
Like, don't do
lit. I
that.
was like, I think I'm just going to shave it. It's so bad. It's so bad. I'm
No.
just freaking out. And I was worried about what everybody was going to think.
Hmm.
I've lost all this weight. This happened so fast.
That's what it was. It was a shock.
It was a shock to my system. So right away, Michael and Rachel were like, "Do not do that. You've got hair. Yes, you've lost a lot of hair because I'll get, I went into
Yeah.
that, but they were like, this was rapid weight loss. I stopped a bunch of medications.
Yeah.
Like my life changed dramatically.
Hmm.
I did a lot of juicing
There
in the
was a lot
beginning.
more healing that needed to go on inside.
Yeah,
Then your body was like, we're not going to focus on the hair right now
it
because
just
this is more serious.
Well, it just happened. And
Hmm.
well, let me be clear. I was doing a lot of juicing. I was eating, this is why
It
I'm
was
doing today
super
what I'm
clean.
doing
Yeah.
so that I could talk about nutrition and why it's so important to nourish to flourish.
Yeah,
Now,
exactly.
so there's more to it than that. But anyway, I knew how to turn it around and I was thinking already then I was like, well, I lost the weight, so I'm already happy. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
That stuff all happened later. And by the way, when I went to the doctor, he almost like sat down like, whoa, whoa. I'd been seeing him for 20 years.
Uh-huh.
He sat down like he was in shock and I was like, I'm dying, aren't I? Like I was very nervous and not very self-confident about what I was even doing at the time. And he just sat down and he was like, I can't believe what you've done. And I was like, I know, right? Am I sick? And he was like, no, I've heard about this. He said, I said, I've went plant-based. I started off juicing, but I was already eating by then.
Oh
I
yeah,
was
yeah,
already
yeah, yeah.
eating. And I said, I've just lost so much weight. And he was like, no, this happens when people do like gastric bypass when they lose so much weight so fast, you know.
Hmm.
And it made me want to go back and reassess, like, what the heck, how am I doing this and
Yeah.
how much nutrition do I need? So here's where that
It,
catapulted into,
even more motivation to learn about
like,
it all
learn
for
about
the
it.
education. Yeah.
So anyway, all my labs came back. He was blown away. He was blown away. And that was the last time I saw him because I said, "Why didn't you tell me about this?" Because he was in there and he was like, "Yeah, I've heard about this. This is great. All my labs came back great. My vitamins, my minerals, my protein, everything." He was like, "Keep doing what you're doing." So anyway,
Hmm.
back to the intrinsic motivation that just continues to go. That did intrinsically motivate me to learn to become like a ferocious learner of
Yeah.
nutrition. And I came out of left field. You actually said something this week that was powerful.
Uh-oh.
No, you said it in class, and people mentioned it today, but
Really?
yeah, you
I can't
said
wait to hear what I
you said
said.
something about knowledge.
Oh, yeah.
Say it
You don't have to go to college to learn this knowledge.
in the cooking class. And I
That's
mean,
right.
this is so factual because they're
Mhm.
not teaching this in college.
That's right.
They're not teaching this in high school. They're not teaching this in grade school. Another one of my intrinsic motivations is I want to get this information out because it feels good for people to say, wow, thank you for showing me this so that I can take care of this or I could lose weight or I could, prevent and reverse disease and get at it.
Totally.
So that is my motivation. My intrinsic motivation started off with my own little wins and I'm going to get this done. I didn't put an extrinsic goal on it,
Right.
is what I've learned now today.
Hmm.
And I know now that if I put too much on you in here, you will not be intrinsically motivated to do
No,
this.
no.
Wow, we didn't know how this was going to go, but I think this is a really great way to explain intrinsic and extrinsic, which I
Yeah.
learned when I got into lifestyle medicine coaching, by the way. This is all how to coach people into finding their intrinsic
Well, that's
motivation.
awesome. I think we definitely I gotta read one more thing that I wrote because I was just wanting to make
If
sure
you
that
guys are watching on YouTube, you can see that my notes are in his hand now
yeah.
because I am
Well,
organized.
yeah, I should have printed this out, but
I think
uh
I think we did, but I put it
I
away.
think people are really feeling our compassion and drive to help people live a healthier, happier life. And the way I look at it is, you got it, and you got this intrinsic motivation and you got this fire going. And watching you as a coach and help all these people out is just amazing. It's like they run over with a stick and you light their stick. Like so they have the fire within them. You're helping people with
You're
their
getting me verklempt right now. Stop it. I'm getting like the nose burn.
oh geez. But it's true.
That's not supposed to
You're
happen
helping
here.
people out. And it's a huge thing. It's awesome.
It's crazy.
Think you need to
Honestly,
trash your mascara.
it's proof. It's, by the way,
It's
all my
plants.
makeup is 100% pure cosmetics. People ask me all the time what I use, and
Yeah.
it's 100% pure cosmetics. I've been using them from the beginning when I started getting into the and EWG and learning about chemicals and all the
Yeah.
stuff that we're using. So it kind of anyway, thank you. Oh my
So
gosh.
not like
Now we need proof.
supernatural when you would like just slap your cheeks and make them pink.
Oh my gosh.
I
Exactly.
saw that in a movie once. I'm like, what
Thank
the hell
you,
are they
by the
doing?
way, for that. Thank you for that.
Well, it's
I
also
love
you're
my job.
that's like in a smallest little nutshell, that's what you're doing is really helping people clear their head out and have room for their intrinsic motivation.
We
You're
get
helping them start that fire, really. I feel
think I am. I mean, I've
because it's hard to go at it alone.
it is. I mean, and that's part of what I learned with lifestyle medicine coaching. And then I have my own experiences that I really, really self-reflect on to think,
Yeah,
how can I get through to these people that I'm so relatable to?
totally. I mean, because you've really had a
Real life
lot of real life
experiences.
experience.
Yeah.
Exactly the
More
same
than you
thing.
guys know, but maybe the bigger we get, the more I'll open up. Like that's how I feel,
It's
There's a
just more
lot.
things that you've gone through, so you connect with a lot of people, a lot of different people.
Yeah, a lot.
So it's
And I feel for everyone.
There are a lot of human issues. It's not like male or female. It's just like stuff
This is
that
life.
people go through.
This
Yeah.
is life. And when people are out there on the internet and they're talking about their life and they're telling everybody how to eat and they're giving all this advice and they're giving it, there's something missing.
Yeah.
They're not talking about really what's going on in the background.
No, they're not.
And I'm here to tell you that everything is not perfect and anybody can do this, but you have to find that intrinsic motivation.
Yeah. Exactly. I mean, you got like right now, this moment, this is life. This we're living right now.
I'm not going to make this look easy.
We,
I make it look easy, but I want to also be real is what this unplugged is about. Like this is really what goes on in life. It takes work to get this stuff done, but I want to let you know I'm so motivated by the feedback and the impact that it's making that I feel, I guess, like I want to share with you what's going on so that I motivate you more to know like it can what you're doing and what you're working on, you're going to get to it. You're going to get to it because I'm going to share with you that this is how it worked for me. We all know plants and eating more fruits and vegetables is great for us. We all know that.
hmm
But how do we stick to it?
Right.
Because everybody goes into this with a diet, or I have a date to get to, or I have an event that I
Yeah,
need to
I want
make
to
it
fit
to.
into this dress.
It doesn't work like that
hmm
at all.
Not me, like not I don't want to fit into the dress, you know what I'm saying? There's
It
just
doesn't work like that.
these goals, these outside goals.
O-
Extrinsic is not
Or, like I mentioned,
lasting,
it's not
you know.
lasting, or because someone's telling you to do something.
Yeah. That
John,
motivation,
read
I don't
this.
even know if that's motivation.
It's not, but what I'm
It's
saying
not. It's
is,
like just here.
well, like I realize if I keep putting these notes up and being like, "Hey, what about this?" and we'll talk about this, we'll go over this. That was that was extrinsic, and it wasn't going to keep you going with it. It got us here.
Yeah,
There's me
I
being
realize
positive.
even if you're writing out your somebody's own intrinsic motivation, well, this and this and this, but as you're trying to feed that to somebody else, it becomes extrinsic to somebody else. Like
It
that's not my like.
because somebody's telling you what to do isn't going to
Mhm.
get you to do it.
Yeah, no doubt.
So if you want to get healthy, if you want to start a business, if you want to do anything,
It's got to start in here in
it's got
your
to
heart.
start in there.
Hmm
And people get distracted by a bunch of stuff too.
Definitely.
And that's also what I'm really good at working on, making sure that we're learning those tools to tap into it. Why am I talking about it, John? Because I've had to use all this stuff to get to where I am.
That's
You
right.
know, that's the background stuff that people aren't realizing.
hmm
That's the background stuff that people aren't realizing. I'm
Yeah.
practicing the same 8 tips I talk about every week to my clients.
These are tools, man. These are
They're the
tools
tools
of your trade.
that eat
Like
your plants off tips.
machinists
Yeah.
have certain tools,
Yeah.
mechanics have certain tools, plumbers have certain tools,
Yeah.
carpenters have certain tools, and you, as a lifestyle medicine coach, have the tools to help everybody with all their shit, no
From
matter
all
what you're
the
doing for a living.
experiences. Yeah. From years of
Seriously.
working with people
hmm
and from really being empathetic to what people are going through because
Yeah.
just for a reminder, we're not doing this for money.
Yeah.
We volunteer our time. So that is
Right.
why I thought, hey, how could we bring in intrinsic motivation and how the heck are these guys doing it if they're not even getting paid for it? Or well, people always say, like, how does this work with a nonprofit? Yes, we make money, yeah,
But we're not paying
we're not
ourselves.
paying ourselves.
Right.
We're motivated by people actually getting better and
Yeah.
writing us and saying, "Hey, this is awesome," or listening to the podcast or sharing the
Uh-huh.
podcast. Like you guys, that is what motivates us when we see those numbers go up.
Right.
And that works for everybody when you find something that you love and something that makes you feel good and something that makes you want to keep doing it so much that you
Intrinsic.
can't think about anything else again.
It's like a happy heart. It
It
makes, and when other people do it, it makes my heart happy too, that we're helping people. That's
exactly.
really,
Wow, we really got unplugged here today.
I'm telling you.
Um, I'll go over the 8 tips, by the way, if you want me to right now.
Well, yeah, but what I want to say is all these good stats, they're showing up what we're talking about in the revenue, in the payouts from these things, and they're
From
going right
YouTube.
into, yeah, from YouTube to go back into the community and really help out with Plantspiration, you guys. It's awesome. And it's where we're getting results and people are really doing it.
What do I do with the money? What do I do with the money? Somebody would ask,
hmm
or I need to get a transparency page up on the website,
Yeah, yeah,
actually.
yeah.
So I do pay for an assistant part-time. Well,
Uh-huh.
she practically works full-time, but I pay her
Part time.
pennies. But again, she's and she's motivated intrinsically. She's
Exactly.
motivated to do this. My CFO volunteer,
Hmm.
all the people on the board are volunteer.
Yep. Yep.
So where does the money go? The money is going towards, thank you for this lights in here,
Uh-huh.
the laptop that I
Right.
started this on my
This
phone.
very
This
microphone.
very microphone, the papers that I use, the folders that I use, like this, and most of all, the most important part, of course, it's, all this stuff. People have food this week because of donations of Plantspiration
Hmm.
to stay plant-based. People have help with maybe getting some exercise in, or maybe some people need
Yep.
some extra things that are helping them on their journey, because this is not just about a diet. This is about a lifestyle. So the Plantspiration, all the people watching, donating, being part of the membership, signing up for our classes, this money goes right back into actually helping people. A small
Hmm.
portion of it goes, what I was going to say, to like paper, pens,
Right.
laptop lights. The majority of it goes back into we give away memberships to
Yeah.
veterans, to people who, can't afford the $50. I don't want to even say that. I People who need some help getting that done.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
People go through tough times, and it's always a pay it forward.
Yep.
It's a pay it forward. You know what I mean? They get to be a part of inspiring more people to do it. It's just a very
Exactly.
good
Exactly.
business plan that,
It is. I mean, you're what subscription? Is it a
yeah, like
membership?
a
Is it
membership, a monthly membership.
that also is not just covering for you, you're helping somebody else too. I mean,
Exactly.
that's the main thing, and that gives people an intrinsic motivation
That's
to
what I built.
donate.
Yeah, that's
And
what I
we
did.
help more people. It's just freaking
Yeah,
awesome.
that's exactly what it is.
It
Speaking
makes
of,
my heart even
thank you. Give me a
happier.
little heart. See what I mean? I had to tap into a little bit more of what was intrinsically motivating you, because I saw that it was losing your sparkle to it. It went from, I want to do this, to, I watch you getting stressed out about it. And I had to really kind of tap into
Yeah,
it. And this is working out really great
definitely.
because,
What?
yeah, say the
No,
next
what?
part.
What? There's no next part. I'm not
Plants.
looking at anything.
Well, I know that I do have a little
Let
board
her,
that talks about keeping us on time.
let
So
her
this
rip.
is about the time to bring in the Plantspiration Health Report.
Yeah, well, oh, see, I was gonna say that. I was gonna say, well, let's tap into how many pounds we're up to. People checking in, and we've added on to it. We're at 1,024.4 pounds.
Wow, where's the claps for that?
I'm telling you, they're here. They're here.
Thank you. YouTube can't hear it, but on Spotify or Apple
Yeah.
Music or iHeartRadio, you can hear it on there. And I
Heck
love the
yeah.
clapping. 1,024 pounds.
Hmm.
Mind you, through the holidays, through all the festivities, everybody at Plantspiration is not just learning how to lose weight, they're
Hmm.
learning how to maintain it
Yeah.
and to keep gaining these healthy habits that last a lifetime, that we're showing you how it goes.
Definitely, if I could add to that, I really like down to Saturday meeting, and people are like, okay, I haven't lost weight this week, but I haven't gained any.
Look at how
And
they're
that
talking.
is, I know, that's what I mean. They're on a positive. I haven't gained
It's
any. And this is like the
exactly why this
hardest,
works.
through the holidays and all that. They're like, I didn't gain a pound.
Those
I didn't
daily,
lose a pound, but I didn't gain a pound. Yeah,
do
we're
you
cheering.
see how those daily challenges we work on so hard?
The calendar
We've been
that
doing
is
that for
created,
years.
you guys are doing it
Years
great.
we've been
Hmm.
building up a calendar and then listening to what people are saying. And then, I'm taking in everything I've learned, and I'm
Hmm.
continually learning about lifestyle medicine and behavior change and motivation. And anyway, we work really hard at getting that calendar to fit. So this month we've
Yeah,
got
yeah,
into focus. So, these tools that we're doing every day are what build that focus and that self-awareness, that help people find that intrinsic motivation. I'm
hmm,
constantly like helping them rethink their path so that it is, like we say, the highway to health. And when you go on a vacation and you plan the vacation, you have a destination, you have a goal in your mind. But vacations are just that, they're vacations.
yeah.
You
It's a
don't,
temporary
it's a
thing.
temporary thing. So I have to get them to see why it's so great that you just want to move there and live there forever.
Yeah.
On that highway to health, we want you
Uh-huh.
to stay there.
Yep.
Um, and we're really getting good at this. We've been doing this, I said, 12 years. We
Yep.
went and did this. And then we went on a mission to teach everybody how to do it. While you've been off working and supporting me while I started this nonprofit, I've really built this baby up to be a
Oh my God.
global,
I know.
and that has all been not just the weight loss and the all that. It's the same process I've used to build a business and to
Definitely.
make that go.
I see it on all the stats too when I go on there, and then I can see a map of the world, and I see little red dots in a lot of continents
That
all
makes me
around the
so
world that
proud.
are listening, and really, they're inspired. And we got some good messages, and it's really great.
That makes me excited, by the way. I just want to leave a legend for my kids, is what I said in the beginning. Remember, they're like, why do you want to do all this? I was like, well, I want to leave a legacy,
Legacy.
a legend. What the hell?
Yeah.
I wanted to leave a
I
legacy
am
for my
legend.
kids. I just thought about that. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And why not go for that? It's not easy.
Yeah.
But we're gonna get to it. I guess I should say, while we did that Plantspiration health report, thank you to everybody who hands that in every week at Plantspiration. We are
Yeah.
really grateful. You're the reason why people are coming in here going, "Hey, I heard this. This was fantastic. I want to be a part of it." We just want to show people that this is the momentum. I know a lot of people are talking about it. I know that we know the research is out. We're just teaching people how to take action here
Right.
and make these changes that last forever. Should I go over my? I have a list in here. I
Yeah.
should go
Yeah.
over
I
it.
think so. Yeah.
Well, tips for finding intrinsic motivation. The number one thing that I talk to my clients and my members about is find your why. You'll hear me say this all the time, find
Yeah.
your why. And we get so distracted with life, news, negative stuff, hard stuff, obstacles, things not going right, mistakes that you're making, listening to outside information that just continues to cause analysis paralysis. So we have
Mhm.
all these things swirling around like a giant tornado. Or maybe that's just my head. But we have to keep focusing on our why. Why are you doing this?
Mhm.
When you are right now thinking about getting healthy, because maybe that's how you found us, or maybe you want to start a hobby or conquer a goal, a career goal.
Yeah.
Find your why. It's the number one thing you could be doing.
Yes.
Um,
No matter what you want to do.
I wanted to get healthy. I wanted to start a business so that I could make an impact. I wanted to leave a legacy for my kids, something cool. Two,
Something cool.
focus on the process, not just the outcome. And I think
Mm-hmm.
I kind of summed that up when we talked about I wasn't thinking I'm going to lose 100 pounds and my family's
Yeah.
going to. I didn't set a number on it. And
Mm.
people fail because they set a number on it.
Yeah.
Well, I don't want to say fail. They get,
It's easy to get discouraged. I'm
they-
going to lose 50
yeah,
pounds in 3 months. And then, man, it's like week 11 and I've lost four.
that's extreme.
That
Yeah.
is,
And now you've told everybody the pressure's on, the
yeah,
extrinsic motivation
exactly.
crashes. I'm going to lose this for a trip. So I say focus on the process. Exactly. I focus
Hmm.
on every day, like what did feel good,
Right,
and
right.
in the end, it's going to feel really good because I know this is going to take a while to get
Exactly.
there.
I notice people are like, they're like, okay, maybe the scale didn't move, but they feel, my clothes feel different.
Always focus on the
Stuff
wins.
moving around, body's rearranging and really getting healthier, and it's awesome.
That is my number three is celebrate, set small, achievable goals, like
Mhm.
one day at a time,
Yeah.
or noticing your clothes fitting. If you have this goal of I'm going to lose X amount of weight, you're going to lose your intrinsic motivation. And I want you to light that baby up.
Hmm.
Number four, this is so important. And we talk about it every week at Plantspiration. Celebrate the progress. You will hear me constantly, the wins
The wins.
for me,
Yeah.
for the members, for the clients.
Wins, micro wins, whatever you call big wins, small win, whatever you name it.
Look at what I said today.
The
I go,
wins.
we've made it to episode 10. I guarantee you, if you research that, there's going to be
A good percentage
of
that
people
don't.
that don't make it that way.
Hmm.
Well, I learned with the nonprofit or starting a business, it's like there's like 80% of people or something, and correct me if I'm wrong. I
Hmm.
think it was like 80% I heard
They
from
don't
my
make it
CFO,
past 3 years.
something like 2 or 3 years. And when he told me that, I was like, oh, I did it. This is all I want to tell people is focus on the small goals,
Uh-huh.
and you're not even going to realize how all these climbs that you've been making. Celebrate the progress is what I meant by that. Celebrate the progress, all the wins. Surround yourself with positivity. Tip number five. Surround yourself with
That's
positivity.
it. I mean,
If people aren't
seriously.
clapping for you, pay attention.
Yeah.
It matters.
It does matter.
It matters. And you can control that.
That really sucks.
Oh, which is number six. Focus on what you can control.
Yeah.
You can control that, but it does take work.
Uh-huh.
You have to remove yourself. You have to set boundaries and you have to put yourself first
Hmm.
to make this happen. Because if somebody would have been telling you back in the day, hey, that's pretty dumb that you quit $2, that you took a big pay cut like
Yeah.
that.
Well, that was stupid.
You know, somebody was saying that though. You know, somebody was doing that,
Probably.
but you can't
Then when you got a feeling, you got to go with it.
focus on what you can control. And that was your positive thoughts about this is what I love. This
That
is
was
what I love
me.
to
I
do.
can control me, my actions, my decisions, and how I respond or react to situations.
I love
I'm
that.
still working on it, but
Hey, we all
hey,
are though.
yeah.
Make it fun. Tip number 7. And man, that is my middle name. I think Stephanie for an F stood for fun because I make it, I always say if we're not having fun, we're doing it wrong. I
Yeah.
say that very loosely, but think about how we've
No,
been living.
that's like weird because it's my saying too, but the F's are
Really?
in our last name. Yeah. If it's not fun, friggin' stay home.
Yeah, we're not doing it right.
I'm just thinking about like at work.
That again is like another great coping mechanism. Like we can find the fun and stuff. We can
Yeah.
replay the fun stuff, but we do have to take work to tap into it.
Sure.
You know, it's a lot of work doing what we're doing, and we don't talk about it often enough. We do make it look easy, is
Yeah,
what people
not
say.
everything is fun,
No, I
you
mean,
know?
it's a long day when I'm working on my classes.
Mhm.
For instance, getting that ready on Wednesdays is a big
Our
day.
classes.
It's a
I'm
lot.
glad you're doing the work on
Sorry, I
those
should have said
classes.
our
No, I'm
classes
just kidding. You are doing all the work, and I
to
totally
make it look
understand that.
easy.
Yes, but
Um,
it's a ton of work,
a
and you
schedule.
love what you do,
I
so I
love,
know you're not like
yeah.
just burned out with work. It's
No,
not, no, you're not sitting in a cubicle and
no.
like that's real.
But there's a really tight schedule that I do that you've watched me grow. And what I did was I
Mhm.
started looking back at like how could I do this? Well, I knew that I was a good scheduler with my doctor's appointments, with the kids' game.
Yep,
So I started tapping into believing, look at how good I was about, keeping a structure. So my structure started being, my lives, my coaching calls, my social media
yep.
posts. Like this all grew in time, not overnight.
No, definitely. It took a while to really get your schedule figured out.
And I focused on the wins because everything didn't keep going right. So back to you guys, focus on what you can control. You can control your time. You
Mhm.
can. You can. You can control what you tell yourself. You can control what you eat. You
Mhm.
can make decisions. It's going to take, I didn't say it was always easy, but the win is how good you're going to feel when you do set that boundary and you do take control of what you want. I'm making it fun. And then I went back and forth a little bit.
It's all right.
And my number one, it should have been my number one, but it's number 8.
It's all right.
You hear me say this every day.
Hmm.
Gratitude.
Yeah.
I'm not
Practice.
saying you're not grateful, is what I say to people. I'm not saying you're not grateful, but I want you to talk about how grateful you are for the things you have because I want you to feel that gratitude and think about it like I'm really grateful for this opportunity for a second chance at life. I'm really
Hmm.
grateful that I got healthy. I'm really grateful for the impact that I'm making. I'm really grateful that I am doing it and that I keep doing it. See, I could just go off on that. Like that is kind of like my meditation
I
and my
know.
place that I go
This
to.
next hour brought to you by
I could
Stephanie's
go on.
Grateful
You guys, if
Mantra.
what am I doing out on the bike? I am just out
We're
there
just talking
yelling
about
like I'm so
grateful
grateful
stuff.
I'm out here.
Totally.
This is this is what rides me and being able to be here today to talk to you about these amazing adventures and these
Mhm.
lures that we've gone on in our life and these experiences that we are learning are very relatable to so many people.
Yeah.
Not everybody sees the hard part that goes into it. And I just thought it was only fair that we did talk a little bit about it and that we do get vulnerable. We love the
Hmm.
idea of the podcast. I mean, are you kidding
Yeah.
me? We want
That's
everybody
cool.
to get motivated.
Heck
We
yeah.
want everybody to get healthy. We want everybody to feel better. Okay. But it has to start somewhere. And we use this podcast as a way of showing, like, you want to start somewhere? We're going to show you how we do it. And we're
Yeah.
going to take you
We're just
through
going
it.
to start something.
There's nothing to do but to do it
Hmm.
and you have to find your intrinsic motivation in order to do it. But if
Heck
somebody's
yeah.
telling you to do it, or you're setting up a goal like I'm going to lose weight to get in this dress or to go on this trip, if it's not working,
Yeah. Let's reconfigure that motivation so you feel the fire inside.
you deserve it.
Yeah, you
So, wait a minute. I don't want to, I'm always like nervous to let go. Like, did I say everything I wanted to say?
do.
You did an awesome job today.
Oh, thanks. So did you.
No, really, like this has been the work of getting this going, but I'm
Hmm.
excited and we're going into
Yeah.
doing this every week. And I said, I want to have fun doing this.
Uh,
I don't want it to be a hard time.
yeah.
Does this feel better this week?
Yeah. I just,
I had to take it down a notch.
yeah, I'm good. I mean, there's still notes all over. It's great.
I didn't even look at them.
Me
Maybe
neither.
once.
I lost mine.
I'm glad you did because I found you. This is what we needed to do to get through this. And thank
Mhm.
you for everybody for watching us on this
Yeah,
journey.
thanks.
I think it's time to wrap it up.
That's right.
Thank you, Myers, for your wonderful green fruits, vegetables, everything we get
Yeah.
from Myers. This week, I'd like to say thank you to the Trend Seller. I went there in town and I love them, and they helped me find some new
Those are
clothes.
cool.
Like
Yeah,
this
those pants.
intrinsically motivates me to I didn't get to buy stuff like this. I've never been like this. So I want to tell them thank you very much. You guys are great. And the Black Orchid Boutique was the other store she went to. And I
Hi.
went over there and I was like, I can't wait to wear this for the podcast. And he's like, nobody's
Cool.
gonna see you, but you do.
On YouTube.
Maybe on YouTube. Thank you guys so much for being here today. Don't
Yeah.
remember to like, subscribe, share. We're really grateful. I could say it a million times to be here today because I'm gonna tell you this,
Mm.
okay? You can do this. Focus on the things that you can control. Turn off the
Right.
news. I know there's a lot of bad stuff going on all the time. We know that. We're fully aware of that, but we can't control all of that stuff.
Right.
That's the hard part is getting yourself back to what you can control. And that's going outside, taking a deep breath, eating some more fruits and vegetables, drinking
Hmm.
some water, thinking about the things that bring you joy and what motivates you to do the things that you love. This week's going to be a great week, by the way. I want to say
Heck
that
yeah.
we're
We're
also
gonna
doing a
crush
class.
it.
I guess I got to plug it too.
Plug
I got to
it.
plug the
Plug the
class. This
class.
is what I do during the
Unplug
week.
it and unplugged.
All right. Well, this week we're going to be teaching a class, Eat Your Plants. And that's another big thing.
I'm
Like
gonna be teaching you guys how to make red lentil dal.
yeah, it's going to
Super
be so
easy.
good.
So
We're
delicious.
going to be talking about fiber and how you have your own Zempic. We actually are using our
Hmm.
own GLP-1 hormone inside our body. That's what the pharmaceutical company did.
Yeah.
They took this and made a copy of it and sold it for a bunch of money. And the side effects coming in are not
Mm.
looking good. I
We're
mean,
not good.
people are sick because of
Well, plus they take these shots, they lose all this weight, and then
they're helping people. Don't get me
yeah,
wrong.
definitely, but nobody's learning how to eat right.
Nobody's learning how to eat right, which is why I am on just this mission to teach people nutrition
Hmm.
education and how to make these changes in your life. So I'm going to talk about why, first of all, we're on another big thing of our own classes that we dropped and they're going amazing. This week we're going to be talking about we're going to break down fiber and how to use your own Zempic
Yes.
in class this week. I mean, and this is what's happening for people at Plantspiration, 1,024 pounds down and
So,
counting.
mhm.
Thank you guys. I think this is a wrap.
This is a wrap. You guys
Have a
have a good one.
great day. Eat your plants off. See you in class. And I think I
Peace.
should stop talking.
Okay,
Shut
we'll
it
see you
down.
guys.
We'll see you next week. It's going to keep getting better.
Definitely.